Hi guys, one of the reasons Reform UK are taking votes away from the Tories is that they're using the same language as the Conservatives. The difference with Reform is that they don't have 14 years of baggage to carry around with them. There's a reason why the extreme right like Suella Braverman and Robert Jenrick are respected in Richard Tice's outfit. It's because they sing from the same hymn sheet. Here's Ben Habib ironically complaining about immigration and repeating the same old tropes about why so many foreign workers were and employed in British industry.
The labour market is broken actually because we've had unbridled, cheap, unskilled labour coming to the UK, undercutting British workers, making it very difficult for wages to rise, making it more appealing, and that coupled, by the way, with a very high taxation rate for the working and middle class, that's made it more appealing for people effectively to stay at home. We've got 1 million job vacancies, but we've got 6 million people on universal credit to a greater or lesser extent. There's no shortage of workers in the UK. What we've got is a broken labour market.
Okay, so first of all, let's start off with universal credit. About 40% of people on universal credit are working. So what are you going to do with those people, Ben? Are you going to force them to take on a second job or a third job or a fourth job? It's absolutely ridiculous. But also, the rest of the people on universal credit, the vast majority of them, obviously are carers or they can't work. So they can't work because they're disabled or they have some other problems. So what are you going to do about that? You're going to force them off universal credit, force them into work. Now, obviously, he doesn't actually have to provide any solutions here because his party will never be in government, or not in the current form, not with the current electoral system. So it's easy for him to sit on the sidelines and say, what we should do is force people off universal credit into these jobs. A lot of these jobs that are now vacant because of Brexit, something that he campaigned for. That brings us to the second point, which of course is migrant workers. We know over the last number of decades, and this isn't limited to the United Kingdom, this is all over Europe as well. There was a time in the past when local people did the jobs for example, picking fruit and vegetables or working in local industries. But what happened was many of these young people decided, I don't want to do these jobs, or I only want to do them for the summer or for a limited amount of time just to make a bit of money. And I don't want to do them full time. But these industries required people to do them full time. So if they couldn't find them in the local area, they tried to find them further afield. If they couldn't find them further afield, they had to bring them in from abroad. That's the nature of the work. That's the nature of the industry. We see with many sectors. So many people in the local community either can't do the job or don't want to do the job, but these jobs have to be filled. So sectors like hospitality, healthcare, agriculture would bring people in from abroad. This isn't about cutting local workers, cutting them out or reducing their wages. This is about filling vacancies that need to be filled. And when he talks about unskilled, what skills does Ben Habib have? I'd love to know what skills he has. Because he's running people down, suggesting people who pick fruit and vegetables, or people who work in the care sector, or people who work in the NHS, or people who work in hospitality have no skills. It's extremely condescending and insulting. But this is, once again, a brexiteer. So he knows nothing about these sectors, but he's happy to suggest that, well, the people who work in them are unskilled. And he suggests that people who are not able to work, who are disabled, people who are carers, should give up that and be forced by some sort of metaphorical stick into these jobs. I've asked this question before. Would you like your grandparent or parent to be looked after by somebody who didn't want to do that job? I certainly wouldn't. And I don't think even Ben Habib would. These people know nothing about what they're talking about. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.